Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Pluto Sextile or Trine, one's natal ascendant. Now, this transit could manifest in power, control, transformation, passion, desire, even probing, probity. This could be in harmony with the physical body and the appearance. I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. Well, I mean, Pluto is about probing. It's about going beyond what's superficial, going beyond the surface. And if there's any issues that are going on in the physical body, whether you may need, like, say, for example, if you happen to need, excuse me, an MRI or X-ray, it could be an opportune time to do this and get to the bottom of the problem. It's also having more just in general power, having control over what you do physically, and it's an understanding of what you can do on a physical level. And as far as your any limitations with vitality, being able to control propensity for injury to yourself physically, if you have your natal ascendant in Gemini as an example. It could be, if you're being careful regarding possible injuries to the arms or nerves, this is a time where you have likely to have more control over that and understand what you can do physically in order not to have problems with those matters. If you're somebody that works out vigorously, as an example, that could be another way this transit can manifest. It could be very positive if you want to make a transformation of the physical body. Some people wonder, well, what's the difference between like a transit Pluto sextile or trine the natal ascendant to transit Pluto making a conjunction to the natal ascendant? And the thing about that is they are comparable and similar, but there is a difference. The conjunction is more intensifying. It could be where you may be more obsessed or fixated with the physical body. Conjunctions are neutral, and they can have good and bad qualities to them. And when you have this transit Pluto making a sextile or trine to the natal ascendant, if you're making, like, say, a transformation with your physical body, this is a time where it can be more, it's more flowing and it's more easier, natural to actually do. And it's not at a point where it would maybe dominate your existence, like like the transit Pluto making a conjunction to the natal ascendant. And it might be a time if you've got to make some change with your appearance. This could be an ideal time to do so, whether it's through working out or it could be just dressing differently. If you have your natal ascendant in Virgo, you might be somebody that dresses meticulously anyway, but when you have this transit, you might be even trying to make yourself even more, be more of a meticulous dresser than you ordinarily would. And it can be a time as well when if you feel like you got to make some major change with your outlook on life, this could be that time to do so. If the natal ascendant is in Capricorn, as an example, it could be your outlook on life may be somewhat pessimistic or negative. The natal ascendant in Taurus, like I have, could be a too down to earth outlook on life, or it could be where at this time you might be more passionately expressing your outer qualities, the qualities you can naturally express at this time. And it's a time to do having the vitality and energy to do things that are associated with Pluto. It could be whether it's something with the occult, which includes astrology, or insurance, taxes, recycling, doing something with building and coding, investigation, as some examples. And this is also the time where people that are, you could say, that are plutonian people may be more in harmony and agreement, more compatible with your outer demeanor, the qualities that you naturally express at this time. And when I say plutonium people, I mean people, Pluto related, whether they're someone you may be in an intimate relationship with or a shared resources scenario. It could be people that are in Pluto, professions, such as people in the occult, which includes astrology, or people in insurance or taxes or recycling, as some examples. And it may be a time, as well, where when you have this transit, it's also a time where you can express, good desire and passion to do things with people that were prominent in your early childhood. It can even be a grandparent, and it's a good time to have that desire, that passion to do so, and you're willing when you have positive transit to the ascendant. It's usually it's positive energy in general in doing things with those people. Again, people prominent in your early childhood or a grandparent. It's a time where you may be able to empower these people as well if they're going through a bad time, whether it could be a financial hardship or some physical debility or illness, whatever it might be. It's a time when you can maybe empower them to make whatever change maybe need to be made in their life, to be able to strive to be better, to be able to deal with that situation. And Pluto is about resiliency, so it could be encouraging them to be more resilient during this transit. And another thing too is when this transit takes place, it's also a time where if you're probing into someone from your early childhood, if you're trying to do your online sleuthing or investigation, it can be a positive time for doing so and being able to find out where are they now, basically. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be looking to see if they're involved in some corruption or criminal activity, but it's a time where if you've been trying to find them and you haven't had success previously, it might be a more auspicious time for doing so at this point in time. And it's also about having that right amount of passion and desire to embark on new beginnings at this time. And even if you have your ascendant in Taurus like me, where it's very high, it might be difficult to start new things. If you are starting something new, it may be more of a time where you have again the right emotional intensity, the passion, desire in order to do so. And that would apply as well, say, to making first impressions on somebody. If you're say you're meeting with a prospective employer and you want to you're trying to make that first impression, you have the right, it's about having that right amount of intensity and that passion, desire to do so without going overboard. The conjunction again, is more, fixated, obsessive energy, and I would say that would manifest in going a little bit more overboard in trying to do that. But when you have this transit, it can be very positive in doing so. And it's also a time about having, the control over your appearance, that you're not, especially if you're somebody that's into physical fitness, working out. It's a time where you're not going to let your appearance just go to pieces, where you'll be more in control of how you want to appear at this time, more so than you ordinarily would. Now, another way this transit could manifest, it could be a time, again, reiterating what I believe I said previously. It's positive and auspicious for having that passion and desire, which is Pluto, for new beginnings, which is the ascendant. Now, let's say, for example, if the natal ascendant is in Aries, those new beginnings can include firefighting, combat sports, welding, carpentry, doing something with the military, arson investigation, as some examples. And it's also can be a very propitious time to get support, which is Pluto, for those things that are associated with self-interest, which is the ascendant. Now, let's say, going to me, as an example, my ascendant, if the ascendant is in Taurus, those things with self-interest can be connected with geology or gardening, carpet laying, agriculture, anything Taurus related. And also, too, at this time, Pluto-related people. When I say Pluto-related people, I'm going to elaborate on that. That's people, as I stated before, that could be, you could be in an intimate relationship or shared resources situation with, or somebody in a plutonian profession. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now, again, those plutonian-related people may be in harmony and agreement with those qualities that you naturally express, which is the ascendant. Now, if the natal ascendant is in Pisces, as an example, those qualities you naturally express can be being very altruistic, compassionate, sacrificing, forgiving, as some examples. And also, too, this can be a time where it's propitious for control, which is Pluto, and doing things with associated with involved with physical body, which is the ascendant. Going back to the ascendant in Gemini as an example, it might be about controlling possible injuries to the arms, the hands, the shoulders, nerves at this time. And just in general, this could be a very positive time to have that vitality and energy to do plutonian things. And as examples, again, it could be just something with this, the occult, which includes astrology. It could be recycling or things with insurance, taxes, building, coding, maybe extreme sports could be possible. Um, anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.